Hey there, everybody in the FFBE Global Facebook group, and hello to everybody who sees this video on YouTube as well. Welcome to a somewhat delayed version of last week's episode of Ask an Old Mog, where we try and take questions from the global Facebook group and actually sometimes other communities and places as well, and try and turn them into questions that we can answer in a visual format. This week is a groundbreaking, never been done before thing for me, and I'm going to say something I've never spoken out loud before. I got a question from Reddit because somebody didn't tag me, but mentioned me in a post about something and called me out on it. And so I'm going to address that issue that was brought up in that post on Reddit today, and we're going to get into it and see what we can do. Like I said, normally these questions come from the Facebook group, but they're always aimed at helping people understand, things that are in the game. And helping you learn like mechanics and like little tricks and things that are in the game that might help you with like how you play, how you manage your resources, and things like that. This one is less about gameplay, unless you just want to be like efficient in how you gear your units and things like that. And you'll see more about what I'm talking about in just a moment. Don't let me get too far ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and dive right into this question. All right, so the post in question on Reddit had to do with locking your vision cards, and one of the things that was said in the post was, in particular, Finzar doesn't lock his vision cards, and neither does Gerd84. And so I was like, wait a minute, should I be locking my vision cards? And so I read through the comment and the post, and I came up with some ideas from the post to talk about locking your vision cards. And so here's some questions and some things that I came up with. How can I keep from accidentally fusing a vision card together? How can I manage my vision cards when I have so many vision cards? And how can I find a specific vision card quickly? Okay, so one of the things that was brought up in the post was that a lot of times people don't ever show their vision cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my vision cards right here. And here we are. I right now have 1,079 out of 2,000 vision cards, and sure enough, if you look through my vision cards, you can see that a lot of them do not have locks on them, or any kind of indication that they have been locked. I've got a bunch of vision cards, and none of them seem to be locked. Okay, so there are some things that are going to come up here, like how, I want to address all three of these questions, because these are all very important issues when it comes to vision cards. Okay, the first one, to prevent yourself from accidentally fusing a vision card, you can lock it and mark it as a favorite. To do this, you're going to open the vision card to view its stats. There's a little star icon on the upper left, and you're going to click on it, and now it's going to be locked. I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. So I'm going to just randomly, this 4th anniversary card, I'm going to click and hold. See right here, there's the little tiny little lock right here. It is technically kind of blended into the gold boundary of the card, and you click on it, and now it's got a little lock on it, and now it's got a lock on it on this screen, and I cannot use it. So when I say like I can't accidentally fuse it, if I go to another vision card that's not leveled up, like say this one, I'm going to enhance it, and I try to use some of my vision cards. If I scroll through and find it, it's got a lock on it. I can't accidentally click on it, because I'm not paying attention and just quickly clicking anything I want. I can't accidentally do this one. So there you go. That is one benefit to, locking or favoriting your vision cards. But if you, let's say maybe you don't want to go through and click and manually favorite all of your vision cards, just a general tip that I have for you. Always pay attention to what you're doing when you're fusing something. If you're talking about fusing a unit, if you're talking about upgrading an ability, if you're talking about using a master's crown, if you're talking about, combining something in a way that's supposed to be meaningful and you've got a limited number of them, upgrading your Sephiroth's katana too many times in one of the spare copies and not having enough to get all the way to +4. Always pay attention when you're playing this game and fusing resources. Never fuse vision cards if you haven't slept, eaten dinner, took cold medicine, consumed an adult beverage, or been watching one of my videos. Okay, just pay attention to what you're doing, because technically there is a thing you can do. You can reach out to support, but if you've already done it once, they might not be able to help you again. They have a policy on that, and so they may be able to help you. They may not be able to. You don't want to waste it on something like, oh, I accidentally fused a vision card. Obviously a vision card is very important, but especially if you accidentally fuse one of your premium ones, But as of right now, the only way to get rid of vision cards is to fuse them. That's why I don't lock mine. I'm not too worried about accidentally selling them because you can't. In fact, a lot of people complain about the fact that they can't just sell vision cards. That's why they end up with like hitting that 2,000 cap very, very quickly. In fact, I'm going to unfuse this one or unfavorite it because I don't want it favorited. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is one thing you can do though. Now, why else might you want to do that? To manage your vision cards, you can also mark them as favorite. Marking them as a favorite means that your favorites will always be at the top of your list. This is just like this is true of equipment. Like if you have a piece of equipment and you can favorite it, every time you go into that equipment slot, that favorite thing will always be at the top. I'll show you what I mean with a vision card. So I actually really like this vision card. I never want to lose this vision card. Let's go ahead and mark it as a favorite, right? Now we're at the bottom of my list, right? And it's favorited. Didn't I just say that like all favorited vision cards are going to be at the top of the list? Well, let's back out all the way. Okay, now we're back on the main screen, and lo and behold, favorite, right? It's right there. So let's go back into it, vision cards, and here we are. My favorite vision card is here. Let's say I really want to keep Cool Smile. I never want to lose it because the art on it is really cool. You know, again, it's right there. When I back out, re-enter it, okay? My favorites are right there. So if I don't ever want to have to search for my favorites, if I know I'm always using these two vision cards, you know, another one I always use is Dazzling Demoness, for example. If I don't want to, I don't want to go digging through my list trying to find Dazzling Demoness, I can just mark it as a favorite, and there it is. Now, again, you will have to re-enter. You will have to re-enter the list to see it. I'm not favoriting my vision cards to see it, because now once I favorited it, they're back in their position, right? There she is there, and the other one, you know, oh, it's in there somewhere, I promise you. But, you know, I'm not too worried about it. But, oh, maybe I am worried about it because, like, I don't see it on my list and I want to. How can I find it quickly, right? To find one quickly, you want to know the names of your powerful cards or just use the sorting feature, right? So you can search for them by name. If you scroll down to search, it says it right here. You can just type the name of the cards. So that one that I'm looking for, it was something about White Dragon Ling. It said, I think it's like Dancer, maybe? Nope, not it. Dragon? Hey, there she is. If I just type the name Dragon, sure enough, this card is called Dancing White Dragon. And now all I had to do is type the word dragon and it found it. Or I mentioned Dazzling Demoness before, right? So if I just type in Dazzle, right, or just Daz, it'll find it for me. I can quickly find it. So it's important to just know the names of your cards, you know. Not Marion. There's Merilith's card. It's the Sylvie card is called Always Watching Over Me. There she is, right? Or Cool Smile, right? So just if you just kind of know the names of your cards, you can kind of sort them quickly. But maybe you're like not like remembering everything all the time and you don't want to remember the names of these cards. You don't have to. I can also click on this little sort button here and I can sort cards by magic or HP. I can say I want to find all my cards in the order of which one has the most magic in decreasing order. Hey, there's the ones with the most magic, but then there's other benefits too. Like this one has, you know, magic and killers on it. This one has magic and a really cool ability on it. This one has magic and true double hand on it. So like I can sort them by that way. Or let's say I want to find only ones that have high HP and also Reaper Killer on them. Okay, well, Lilith's vision card has Reaper Killer on it and HP. If I go into it, HP and Killer, right? Reaper Killer. So you can use the sorting criteria, you can use the filter criteria to try and find them as quickly as possible. Now, I mentioned before that, you know, favoriting something, if you really want to make sure it's always there, I can favorite like this Power Cut vision card, back out of the menu, go back into it, and, you know, here it is, right there at the top. Even if I change my filter, right? If I'm sorting by magic now, Power Cut's still at the top. Even though Power Cut has no magic on it, right? Just 110, not very much. This one has way more, 130, and it's still not at the very top because it's favorited. But I'm not going to favor my vision cards. And there you go. Now, I mentioned you can do this with equipment too. So like if I go into accessories, or if I go into my equipment here, you can see I've got a couple pieces, utility items, Riku's pouch and Durandal. Favoriting your equipment is a little more important than favoriting your vision cards, because you can accidentally sell them by clicking on this, but you do have to work really hard at it. So I have to click sell, I have to click the item, I have to say how many I want to sell, I have to click sell again. Like there's a lot of checks and balances here that you can kind of go through to make sure you don't accidentally sell something. But if you're really, really worried about it, you can mark it as your favorite. The benefit there is that it's always going to be at the top, and it's currently sorting out, some weapons here, and Riku's pouch is definitely not one of them, but yet here it is at the top of my list because I've marked it as a favorite. Okay, so this is a relatively new feature. It was added in the game not too long ago with a UI update. It was kind of snuck in there that you can mark your vision cards as favorites. It was around the same time that they said you could do the search bar thing and just try and find them that way. It is useful if you're worried about it and if you're like kind of prone to not paying a ton of attention when you're going through vision cards and stuff like that. It could be useful, but in general, as long as you're paying attention, you should be okay with your vision cards, and shouldn't have any problems with accidentally fusing them. But accidents happen. So if that does happen, definitely reach out to support and see if they can help you. Hopefully you have not already used your 1 golden ticket with them and they're going to like help you out. But it's possible you could lose a vision card or lose an important resource, or even lose a unit. Technically possible if you've done this too many times and had too many mistakes. So be careful when you play this game. Be careful with your resources. And in the meantime, if you're interested in doing any of those things to lock and mark your units or your vision cards as favorite, now you know how to do it. You've seen me do it in the game. You've seen me undo it in the game. Yeah, thanks for the question. If you've got a question for next week, feel free to reach out to me, I guess, on Reddit and Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. There's a million ways to reach out to me. If you've got a question you want to see in next week's video, let me know, and we'll do what we can to answer it and try and have some fun with it. Here we are. And we'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Hopefully on Friday on time this week. Last week I just had a lot of stuff going on. Thanks for being patient.